Greetings, y'all. I am one happy camper. It's finally here, the new for 2025 roller coaster, replacing the former Volcano the Blast coaster, which was a launched, intimate, inverted roller coaster prototype that sat in a mountain that existed from 1979. Volcano Blast coaster was beloved even by me. It was one of my favorite inverted roller coasters, period. But I also understand it had a lot of issues that eventually led to its demise in 2019. We knew something was eventually going to replace it, but obviously the pandemic and a lot of other things just kind of pushed the project back a little bit. Crip went down, and so they decided to replace that with Tumbili, along with retheming Safari Village to Jungle X. Which, before I get into the ride, let me kind of explain what has kind of led up to this point. So 2022, Kings Dominion debuted Jungle X. It's a brand new land, and the whole point was it was a jungle with a lot of different excavation sites by the Way Foundation. And basically each of the rides in there were certain temples that they had excavated. So the new ride Tumbili was a monkey temple. They revamped the avalanched bobsled roller coaster to Reptilian, a crocodilian temple, and then Scrambler became Arachnidia, the spider temple. So we had 3 temples that were all dedicated to rides, along with a new restaurant, a new show, which is incredible, and a bunch of other stuff along the way. But we knew everything wasn't finished just yet. According that I said 3 temples, there's actually 6. There are 6 other temples that are scattered throughout that we know. There is a snake temple, which eventually became Anaconda, as Anaconda became integrated into the land about 2023, 2024, because that's when the audio and the soundtrack from Jungle X became part of that station. But we still have 2 more temples, a bird temple and a panther temple. We now know what the bird temple is, Rapterra. I love the name a lot. What's cool is that they wanted to use interesting names for each of the rides in this jungle. We had Tumbili, which is Swahili for monkey, if I recall. We had Reptilian, Arachnidia. So I knew they were going to do something interesting to the name for a falcon or bird. And I love what they went with Rapterra. I think it's super unique. The logo looks absolutely spectacular. It looks like a play on the Raptor at Cedar Point logo, which I also love. So this just, the whole thing aesthetically looks awesome, and the coaster itself is going to look absolutely beautiful. One thing that makes me very, very happy about this ride is its layout. I love that this layout is going to interact with guests because it is going to go over a lot of the open pathways leading up to the coaster. I've already seen a lot of the construction that's been going on, and it is just jaw-dropping how much is going to go over the pathways. I know I've seen some critics talk about, well, I don't see a lot of near-miss effects, which is something that I kind of like with wing coasters like Gatekeeper, Thunderbird, and X-Flight, but it looks like we get a little bit of that. Hopefully the renderings that show the temple architecture on the launch is there. But what makes this super unique is the amount of flyovers you get. Gatekeeper's really known for that as it goes over the entrance, but this is actually going to go over pathways. A lot of the ride is going to do that, which is going to be super unique. Now, I'm not going to lie. The color scheme, it took me a while to get used to. I wasn't sure how turquoise and light blue fit with a bird theme, but I kind of understand it now. Plus, I like the colors of the trains, so that kind of works out. That's originally what I thought the track color was going to be, but I kind of get it. The whole point of the colors, it's supposed to be kind of integrated into the jungle, and so you're supposed to just have this bird just fly by you while you're in the jungle. So I get the concept, and I love the idea. So the color has really grown on me, and I think I really do enjoy it overall. What's also nice about this layout is that it's not so one-sided. So for instance, it's not heavily focused on inversions. It integrates everything. So you have a little bit of inversions, you have a little bit of airtime. So the launch is going to launch you from 0 to 65 miles an hour. That's going to be absolutely fun. And then it just takes you right up into this huge bank turn, 145 feet. That's going to be awesome. And this bank turn is going to be over a lot of pathways. So a lot of people are just going to be able to look up and just see this coaster just sweep up on that bank turn. on the ride, you're going to be able to look down and just see the guests below you. So if you're not going to ride this, you get to watch your family or friends enjoy the ride and vice versa. After that bank turn, you dive down and go up into a dive loop. Then you're going to come back and do something unique in a twisted airtime hill. They have one of these on Thunderbird as well. This is a lot of fun. It's going to provide a little bit of airtime. You're going to dive down, go over the pathways again as you go into what I still consider the treble clef. It's not exactly like that, but it's a very, very similar maneuver to that. You can find it on Orion as well, where you kind of dive up into this bank turn, but then you kind of drop off it. And so in the back rail, you're going to get some decent airtime as well. I like that you're diving down over the pathways. Then you're going to leave. This is when you leave the pathway because you need to return back to the station. We got a nice corkscrew, then an airtime hill. So one more airtime moment, and then a good hang time moment in the final barrel roll. That's going to give us a U-turn around into the brakes to end out a ride. This is just a personal thing. I wish it was a Helix finale just to make it just a little bit longer. But once again, that is a personal taste. I think overall, objectively, I really like the ride and the layout and the design of it. I hope that the renderings on there actually come to fruition, which I think they will, because what they did with Jungle X in Phase 1 of 2022 was absolutely jaw-dropping. There is so much theming in each of the rides. Avalanche used to have nothing, and now it has a decent amount of theming in Reptilian. Same with Arachnidia. So I honestly think they're going to put in some good work to this. And the fact that they started construction of this back in April, I believe. I think actually when the park opened in March, they already were getting ready to build this thing. So a lot of time and effort is being put into this. So all that remains is the other rides that haven't been integrated, Backlot and Flight of Fear. Flight of Fear will probably get a restoryline, while Backlot probably get renamed, rethemed. And then we still got the Panther, which is rumored to go to Intimidator now, Project 305. So hopefully later on we get an announcement on that. I'm very curious to see what the name is for that and the color scheme. Ridden the ride recently, I saw that there's new paint on the supports that I guess they're testing out. Obviously there's some Panther design around Project 305. So it's going to be nice to finally have a land fully completed, fully integrated and themed. We no longer have those jokes about NASCARs and LA street drivers in a jungle. But just talking about Rapterra itself, I am really, really excited. I love wing coasters a lot. My personal favorite is Gatekeeper, but they're all fantastic. I've been on all 4 that are in America, and I'm so happy. It's taken 10 years, but finally we have another one coming. It's going to be cool that this is going to be a launch coaster. The only other launch coaster, wing coaster, is going to be Thunderbird, but overall, I'm really excited. This is looking to be absolutely fantastic. As someone that's been going to King's Dominion my entire life, I could not be more excited. I know some people are going to be disappointed or comparing to Volcano, and I'm just going to say don't. There's no need to compare this to Volcano. There's no need to say that this ain't going to be as punchy. This ain't going to be as intense. What you need to do is just focus on the ride that they want to have at the park itself. So what if this isn't the next intense thing? Don't focus on it being Volcano. Focus on what they wanted to accomplish, which is having another large-scale roller coaster for people to enjoy. They decided to go with the Launch B&M Wing. That's really unique. I'm so glad we're getting another wing coaster in the States. So that's going to be my thoughts. I'm just kind of rambling off and thinking as I go along, but overall, I am absolutely stoked, and you should be too. This is a fantastic roller coaster that's just going to bolster what is already an incredible lineup with a B&M Floorless, an incredible wooden coaster in Grizzly, a classic racing Woody, a Intamin Giga Coaster, 2 launched Premier Rides roller coaster, an RMC, and there's many more to this incredible lineup. So I'm absolutely stoked, as I've already said a bunch of times. But what are your thoughts? I'm curious to know what your thoughts are on this ride. Let me know in the comments down below. If this is your first time coming to the channel, you might as well hit subscribe, as I will be doing more videos like this. And if you enjoyed what I've had to say, you might as well give this video a big ol' thumbs up. It helps the channel out greatly. Thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, roller coaster fanatics, keep coasting.